Yeah, if you can pull it back, I'll drive it coming back. Yeah. All right, it's all yours. All right, what are we looking at and what are you about ready to do?
You go down. You have to lift that arm back.
Okay.
Run that arm all the way to the other end.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh shit. I guess there's the dump hole. Here, hold that over there.
I'm not laughing. Here, and you want this valve the other way.
That on.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me set down the camera. All right, go for it.
Okay, go the other way with that.
Okay.
I'll pull this pin and then we can check this valve right here.
Okay. And what were we doing just before that?
Just blow an area to see where it goes, see if it did anything or see if it was leaking anywhere.
And no apparent leaks other than the
return line.
The return line, so, and not around the piston. All right, on to the next part.
Yeah, so basically this pump is just pumping constantly, and so fluid is just going in a big circle. And that valve over there, all it's going is either going to go back in the case, redirect it back in the case, or redirect it to that cylinder, one of the two. That's all that valve's doing. And so I'm just trying to figure out which one's the pressure line and which one's the return lines. So the return line really should be coming off the bottom of the case somewhere. And the return, you don't want to be blowing oil into the oil where you foam it up and we get bubbles in it, you'll be sucking air. So that's why this line goes down below the oil level to return it. That way you don't bubble it up or foam it up.
Yeah. Today's another day. As you can see, it's just sort of a gloomy, overcast, drizzly kind of Saturday there. So let's see what we're doing in the shop here. I'll take you to the workbench where I've got what I'm going to call the valve body off the top plate of the tractor. Here's the piston. And you can see it's got a lot of wear and chatter marks on it, but I'm going to reuse it and replace the O-ring there and the little backer leather seal. Here's the plate on it and replace all the O-rings. And these passages, the fluid just comes in and across and back out, and then it's got a tap or a port right there. Another point of interest here is what I'm going to call a spool or valve. Is basically it works like a valve. It's got holes in there and it opens and closes those ports as it goes back and forth, so clean that up really well. Here's the piston cylinder, clean that up. There's a high pressure relief on it. It's got a spring, and then down below that spring cup is looks like a bearing or large BB, if you will, down in there. But no surprises on anything. Let me take you to the back of the tractor where I do think we figured out one of the problems. Hopefully it's a problem and the only problem. The gasket came off really well and it stuck to the frame of the tractor, but this gasket that held that apparatus that we were just looking at on, I don't know if you can see it right there really close. I'll try to get close up. It's blown out, and it was that way whenever I took it off, so it didn't tear in the disassembly. I'm hoping that's where the pressure was leaking off and why the 3-point hitch was not working, because here's where the piston, that little cup in the piston goes right here, and then that cylinder would be right here. And then that's what pushes the little arms up on the 3-point hitch. So that's the basic overview of how it works. So I'm going to go get that cleaned up and get the O-rings back on and the gaskets, scrape this one off and put a new one in, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Hello everybody, welcome back to another day at Turner Truck and Tractor. Working again on the Ford 9N, and here, let me see what Piper is up to. Oh, she was galloping across the yard there. We missed it. All right, back to the task at hand. Squirrel. All right, this is the top plate to the Ford JUBILEE NAA, and just wanted to point out this little rubber gasket right here. I just put a little bit of RTV on the back side of it and stuck it on there because I don't want it falling back off. I found this in the bottom of the case of the tractor, so I don't know if it's been off for a long time or when we picked this up it came off. And I believe that's the return line, and it drops in right here, and then this pipe, it's got a banjo type fitting right there, screws in and tightens up against it or presses up against it that way. So I want to drop that in, keep it on there, and then take this screw and press it right up against it. So that's the goal. So this is a little bit much for me to manhandle, especially had back surgery about a year ago, and I want to keep it that way. A year ago, I don't want to go back and do that again. So we're going to try to work a little smarter instead of harder. So we're going to use the lift here and put it on there. Well, that went rather uneventful, and that's just the way I like it. It helps when gravity's your friend and working for you instead of against you. It's always good to have a few tools. If you think you're just going to use it once, go ahead and buy it. You're going to use it many, many times over. Once you have it, you'll find jobs that'll be just the trick for. Hey, I wanted to show you a quick tip or a tool that I used to get this return line pressed back to that top plate. And all it is a piece of angle iron, because it has a slot right here. And I'm able to insert it right here in the slot and then give it a turn clockwise and tighten that up, because otherwise most people wouldn't have anything to turn that with. I didn't either, and then I found this piece of stock right here and it works perfect, so I thought I'd pass that along. Not enough juice. Let's try this with the battery charger on 10 amps. No, give it a little bit. All right, take 3 here. I thought I would take a moment and put this illustration in the video, and I can show you where the sorrow and sadness that I experienced, and hopefully I can save someone else the same experience. This is under the top plate of the 3-point hitch, and this housing includes the cylinder and the piston. The piston you can see at number 22, and where the problem was and where I pointed to earlier in the video is number 6, and you can see it highlighted there. If you Google it and search for it, you may find it called an unload valve or an unloader valve, but the information I got was very thin, and at best people would say check it, but no way, didn't go into detail on how to check it or how to access it. There's some holes in there and I could pick at it and everything, and I could not get it to move. And then what I accidentally did was just take a little punch and hammer and just tap on it, and I was able to get it to move. But what I ultimately did was number 4 right there is about the size of a quarter, and it's just pressed in to the retaining plate, and I thought it was staked in there to be permanent, but I was able to knock it out, and then my hopes went up a lot because once I got that unloader valve number 6 out, I was able to, well, one, it proved it wasn't totally seized, and then on number 3, I replaced the O-ring, cleaned everything up, and then reinserted it, and then put the retaining plates in. So hopefully that will help someone else out in the future. Once that gets fixed, let's check the results again. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the Ford NAA, and I hope that helps someone. The owner of the tractor happened to stop by the house yesterday, and I was able to start it up for him, gave him the honors using the 3-point, and he was just like a little kid on a department store lawn tractor. He was just as happy and giddy as could be over it, so I'm happy about that, and I'm glad it's all working. So we're going to say goodbye to it when they pick it up in a couple of days, and then it'll be off to the next project. And we do have some trucks and tractors coming up. Probably the next one that you will see is in a couple of weeks, as my brother and I take our C10 trucks to C10s on the Brazos and Waco. So I hope all this tractor work has helped someone, especially on the 3-point. And please like and subscribe. I appreciate your time very much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.